And we now move to talk tech with someone who has sort of been a tech crusader for accountability among these big tech firms. We're most pleased to be joined by commodity trader Tina Reine. Hi, Tina. Oh, I'm so glad that we've talked on the phone, and I'm so glad that you're here and able to talk with us. There's a heck of a lot going on with tech firms for the last year, and a lot of it, well, it's pretty bad, right? We've seen tech CEOs hauled before Parliament in the UK and before the US Congress, and we're sort of at a key period, it seems. I mean, they don't want a reputation like the banks have, do they?
No, they don't, and they're headed that way. We are at a real turning point with data breaches, privacy issues, harassment, something called AI deepfakes. This is the moment when technology companies can step up and take accountability. So far, they have not done that. It's been a lot of lip service. But if you've been following the news recently, the UK Parliament called Facebook digital gangsters for the way that they use privacy, the privacy breaches, the way they're using our information, and the way they spread misinformation. So it's really a key time to see what's going to happen with these technology companies.
It's sort of scary, Tina. I mean, to think that they have all this information about us, that they use it. I mean, we know that it's getting out there, but the way they use it is just scary, and we don't know, and it's inundating. You know, people just can't keep track of it all, and so you know, I appreciate people like you speaking out. And I wanted to ask you specifically about one area, about hate speech and the spread of misinformation on some of these tech platforms, not just in elections, but just in general. There's just so much bogus stuff out there. Tell us about what you mentioned to me also, the deep fakes. Talk about both of those.
Sure. So the harassment and hate speech is proliferating, and it's actually affecting more and more users all the time. This year alone, by the end of 2019, 40% of users will have been affected by hate speech or harassment or misinformation, either yourself or someone you know. And this is a real problem, Bart. I mean, it cuts deep into people's lives. I myself experienced online harassment, and it shut down my career for a while. And there's nothing you can do about it. The technology companies have this immunity from really addressing it. There's something called Section 230 of the US Code, whereby platforms don't have to be responsible for what's written on their platforms. Now, there's some talk that might actually change, which is also why some of the technology companies are sitting up and taking notice and saying, you know, we really have to pay attention to harassment and what's going on, and hate speech, and also privacy issues. And you asked about the deepfakes. Deepfakes are something that's come online recently, and we foresee it only getting worse over time. What's happening is you can take someone's picture and put it on a video or a photograph, and it looks real, and you can make that person do whatever you want. This is scary. I mean, all people need are our picture. Yeah. Or they need our name, and they can create harassment. It doesn't have to be true. There's just no regulation around what's going on.
Meaning there's not much that consumers can do. Well, what should the tech companies do, Tina? We've only got about a minute, but what should they do you think?
Sure. So the tech companies really need to create some sort of ethics standard and then hold themselves accountable to that standard. They need to decide, okay, what are we going to see as harassment? And then really stick to that standard and do something about it. And us as people, the general public needs to put pressure on them to create those standards and really uphold those standards.
I couldn't agree with you more. And we try to play our part in having somebody like you on the program to keep talking about us. Tina Reine, commodity trader and tech accountability crusader. That's the informal title. Thank you so much, Tina. Great to see you. Thank you for being on the program.
Thanks, Bart. Right.